Happy Wednesday afternoon, everyone. Meteorologist Angel Wilson here with your weekly weather update, giving you an update on what you can expect for the week ahead and also for the weekend. Now, you're going to see a lot of stuff going on the radar here. What you see is a lot of shower activity, and that's rain that we really need right now. You know, we are well behind on rainfall here all across North Georgia. We need some heavy rain even at times that could really help to bring us back into a surplus instead of a deficit. That deficit even more than 6 inches now in some spots, and we're going to get a chance to put a dent in that deficit here as we head throughout the next 24 to 48 hours, but unfortunately it's not going to be a ton of rainfall. So let's first of all talk a little bit about what we're dealing with out there for today. I always love to start with what's going on for today because you can't really, some people are watching live and you want to make sure that they know what's going on whenever you're watching. So if you are watching live, welcome. Again, we do these updates every afternoon at 2:30 on Wednesdays, that is. And then on Sundays, we do them at 11 a.m. First of all, we take a time lapse out towards the airport. A lot of cloud cover, but we haven't had any weather delays all day because it's just been the cloud cover. We haven't had anything in the way of shower activity. Looking out towards Truist Park in the Battery. Of course, the Braves aren't home today here on this Wednesday. They're playing up in Philly, but still a lot of activity out there and a lot of excitement. Notice that the splash pad is going on. A little cool for the splash pad, I would say. Temperatures out there sitting in the 60s and 70s. Looking up towards the north end of the perimeter. Beautiful shot there despite the cloud cover. And out towards the Georgia Tech campus, looking towards downtown and midtown. Always beautiful. The temperatures, they have been fairly cool here. Notice that yesterday we only hit a high of 83, 75 there the day before, and you look back just over towards the latter part of the weekend, early part of last week, we had the 60s for high, 69 for the high there, so that lets you know we have had a big drop in temperatures. The last time we hit 90, we hit 93 back in early to mid-September. So it's been nearly 30 days now since the last time we hit 90. I would go ahead and say we've probably had our last 90-degree day for the year. It's not 100% sure that we can say that, but I'm fairly certain that we've had our last 90-degree day for the year. So we had 66 days so far in 2023. Hopefully we don't see that number go up again, but that is above average for the typical amount of 90-degree days we have for a year. Right now, temperatures, they're nowhere near that. 68 degrees in Marietta, 68 in Canton, 65 in Blairsville, and 73 in Atlanta. Many spots south of the I-20 corridor are sitting in the lower 70s. It looks like radar is trying to pick up on a lot of rain here. You're starting to see a lot more of that dark green color show up on the map. We still have some drier air closer on down towards the surface, and not all of this is really making it. We're not seeing rain in all these spots, maybe some patchy drizzle here and there, but a majority of this rainfall is still down towards our south and west. Look out over the northern portions of the Gulf of Mexico, southern portions of Alabama, southern to central portions of Mississippi, all the way back towards East Texas, seeing a lot of rain, all drifting off towards the north and east into our direction, and that's what's going to be impacting us for the latter part of this afternoon and as we head throughout this evening. Take a look at the timeline, that timestamp in the top right corner of your screen. By the time we get to about 4, 5, 6 o'clock, our rain chances start to ramp up. You notice some spots could even have some light to moderate showers at that time. The heavier rainfall doesn't move in until overnight tonight, and that heavier rainfall is really going to be reserved for areas along I-20 and south. Notice where you're seeing some of those yellows, oranges, reds show up on the map. That's where the weather model that we're looking at here is picking up on where the heaviest of the rainfall is going to be. Meanwhile, if you're north of I-20, you could get light to moderate showers, but again, not going to be enough to really put a dent in the fact that we've had such a dry last month and a half. It's not going to really help us too much, other than for those spots where you saw a lot more of that yellow and orange color show up. Taking a look at the forecast track by 6:30 a.m., you see that a lot of the rain starts to move out, so much of this rain is going to occur while you're sleeping. Don't leave the windows down in the car overnight, just try to get a good night's rest. Now, the bad news is there is going to be a little bit of lingering shower activity for tomorrow morning, so that could impact your morning commute. Damp roadways for sure, and then we'll see the shower activity move out by the time we head into the afternoon on Thursday. That cloud deck still going to be kind of significant for areas well down south of the Atlanta metro, getting closer on to the Macon area, but the further north you are, the less cloud cover you're going to see for Thursday afternoon. Moving into Friday, starting off drier, but isolated showers will be possible for the afternoon hours, anywhere from about a 20 to 30% chance there on Friday. And then we'll see some drier conditions move in, at least for rainfall on Saturday, and then we really see drier air return with lower dew points and that more crisp fall-like air that we had towards the latter part of the weekend. That's going to be back again by the time we head into Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Dew points down into the 30s and 40s. So our rain chances over the next few days, we have the 50% chance for today. Overnight tonight, the rain chance is really heightened. Think more of like really 70-80% chance for rain, or even higher at times for especially spots south of the Atlanta metro. Rain chances go down though for Thursday and Friday, down to about a 30% chance, and then they drop off completely as we head into the weekend and early next week. So how much rain can we get here as we hit throughout the next 7 days? I will tell you, all of our rain chances really are just lasting as we hit throughout the day there on Friday. After Friday, rain chances are really going to drop off for the rest of the week, and you can see we're not going to pick up too much rain. The Atlanta metro and off to the north, really about a half of an inch or less. If you're south of Atlanta and closer on towards Macon, anywhere from a half of an inch to an inch of rain. And I want to show you where the most significant rainfall is going to be really over this next week. Look at South Georgia. They're really going to get some good rain. We're talking about anywhere from about 2.5, 3 inches of rain. That stretches down towards the Florida Peninsula. That's the kind of rain we need here in North Georgia, but unfortunately we're going to miss out on it. And with that being said, the drought monitor, it updates every Thursday. So when we come into work tomorrow morning, or when everyone gets into work rather, and we get our day started, the drought monitor is going to update. And when you watch meteorologist Chesley McNeil tomorrow at noon, he'll have the latest update, and it'll show that this has worsened because we haven't had enough rainfall this past week, and it won't take into account the rain that we're having overnight tonight into tomorrow morning. It takes into account only rainfall from every Tuesday to every Tuesday, I believe. So then the map itself updates with that data on Thursday. So we will see this worsen. You'll see more abnormally dry conditions stretch across the region. You'll see more moderate drought. And that's just going to show the issue that we've had here over the last month, which is the fact that, again, we haven't had much rain. For this month so far, we have picked up 1/100th of an inch at the at Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport. That was just 1 day of measurable rainfall, barely measurable rainfall. And that just lets you know we are behind for the month. And that's coming off of a month where we finished up well behind. You see, for the month of September, we finished up more than 2.5 inches behind on rainfall. And that story just continues, of course, for October, which is also, on average, our driest month of the year. So expect those drier conditions to at least continue for now. Your 7-day forecast reflects that. Taking a look at the forecast, you have a 50% chance for rain today. Thursday, 30% chance, another 30% chance on Friday, mainly into the latter part of the day on Friday, or really the afternoon, not even latter part, but the afternoon itself. Temperatures rising into the 70s for highs all the way through Saturday, and then you see Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, lows in the 40s and 50s, highs in the 60s. So temperatures throughout the week, they're going to be right around average to just below average for this time of year. Taking a quick transition into the tropics, we have Tropical Storm Sean out there now. This system is expected to continue its way off towards the west-northwest at about 13 miles per hour, gusts of about 50. To give you an idea where this is, I'll zoom out a little bit for you. It's way out there in the Atlantic. And notice towards the end of the time frame here, the end of the forecast cone, by Monday at 8 a.m., it's expected to become a remnant low. So that just lets you know it's going to collapse. Not a threat to us, just something we'll keep you updated on. And of course, that means now that we have used almost all the names in the 2023 Atlantic tropical cyclone season, hurricane season. We only have 3 names left: Tammy, Vince, and Whitney. So far, the strongest storm of the season, thankfully not as it was making landfall, but Lee. When it was way out in the ocean over the Atlantic, it became a Category 5 strength and then weakened as it approached land. But still, we've had a very active season out there in the Atlantic, and much of that happened right around the peak of the season, which of course is September 10th. That's the climatological peak, and that was really just about the peak of our season too for this Atlantic hurricane season. Notice that sometimes you do get a little bit more activity around the October time frame, pretty much right where we're at right now. Right towards the early to middle portion of October, you see a little spike there. So we're right in that time frame, and then things really fall off as you get into early November, the season ending November 30th. Hopefully we don't have to use any more of those tropical cyclone names. Bringing it back to the 7-day forecast, again, we talked a little bit about how temperatures were going to be a little bit around to just below average for the next 7 days. We're going to be below average here as we head into the end of October. So day 8 through day 14, looking beyond the 7-day forecast, showing below average temperatures. If you like those temperatures in the 60s for highs, looking like we could be around the upper 60s for highs here as we head into the end of October. That's going to be nice. But unfortunately, also around average rainfall, we need above average rain. We really do. Remember, October is, on average, our driest month of the year. So it's kind of following suit to that right now. But after we had such a dry September, we really do need to have a little bit of a pickup in rainfall. It just doesn't look like that's going to be very possible as we head into the end of the month. Hopefully November can bring a little bit more rain our way. Your weekend getaways, if you're planning any big trips here for Friday through Monday, you know, I always add Friday and Monday on there just in case you want to take that extra day. Maybe you're looking at the forecast for Gatlinburg and you're saying, ooh, it could be a great day for hiking there with a little bit more sunshine on Friday, and then you look at the rest of the weekend and you're like, oh, it's going to rain the rest of the weekend up there. I better take off Friday too. That's why we show the bookends of the weekend. That way you can take that extra day if you manage to see some better weather. Looking up at Lake Lanier, should be a good weekend for that. A little cool on the lake Sunday and Monday. I know a lot of people are trying to take the boat out at least one more time before the end of the season, but it's going to be a little cool out there, I would say. Savannah, looking great for Saturday through Monday. Charleston, kind of similar, maybe a little bit of storm activity on Saturday. And then you see for Destin, dry as we head throughout the weekend. They're going to have a lot of shower activity here over the next couple of days, but then it'll move out as they head into Friday and then all the way into next Monday. Taking a look at the Peach State outlook across the state of Georgia. Thursday and Friday, shower activity similar to what we're going to be dealing with here in the Atlanta area. And then we head into the weekend, only Augusta really showing a few showers that could be possible down over their way, and then everybody else looking like they'll be a little bit drier. Your Georgia State Park forecast, in case you wanted to go do a little bit of hiking tomorrow, remember rain is going to be possible. Make sure that you pack all your gear accordingly because of that rainfall. You want to make sure that you don't get caught out there without a rain jacket or anything like that. Don't expect any flooding concerns, so no big worries there. But it will be a bit of a soggy, especially start to the day if you're going to be doing any hiking. The afternoon, though, should be drier if you'll be into far north Georgia. So I'll bring everything back up on the 7-day forecast. Of course, we do these updates every single Wednesday and Sunday, with the exception of this next week. We are going to be taking off this next week for Sunday, Wednesday, and then that next Sunday, but we will be back the following week with your update on Wednesday at 2:30. On Sundays, we like to do it at 11 a.m. to prepare you for the week ahead. So have a wonderful next week ahead of you. We'll, of course, continue to keep you updated on everything right here at 11 Alive.